Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 199. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
Ant, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Doing okay. Folks, we'll catch you right here next week for 200. No.
So right, that's it. We just want to make this one official and we're good.
Dunsky. Yeah. Actually, we one more week to go. I'll tell you right now, programming note, we will be off next week in preparation of episode 200, which will drop in 2 weeks.
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it hopefully will be good and fun.
Well, look, if we aren't good and fun after 199 episodes, I don't know what else I can tell you at this point.
I've been told otherwise.
I know, by me.
For 198 episodes. This one just started. So,
yes.
I
can pretty much predict it's going to go the same way.
Probably.
So.
And of course, we're going to say this right off the bat. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube at Retro Gamers Podcast, on Twitter at Retro Gamers Pod, and hit those subscribe buttons, hit the like button on the YouTube video, and just give us some good ratings. We're starting to get there, a little bit. We got our first bot on YouTube. I don't know if you saw it. You did, yeah. Just some random post, like literally just some like a Getty image model of her going, "Love you guys," but like it was total. Like you can tell, it was totally a bot of some sort.
Awesome.
And,
we've made.
Feel honored. Yes, absolutely. I'm waiting.
We've made it. We've made it to bot territory. What's next?
I'm waiting for the fake accounts to start opening up.
Oh yeah,
that's next.
Wait, is that the next step before going viral?
I think so. Well, no. Then there's the stalkers knocking on the door.
Okay.
Then there's me letting them in because I need company, and then we go viral.
Gotcha. Okay. So I have an idea. I need to know what the progression is.
We're getting there. I think it's on Wikipedia somewhere. You can look it up.
All right. Cool. Love it.
So we got some cool stuff to talk about this week. Let's kick it right off the bat. 2 birthdays. In fact, Ant.
Mm-hmm. Retro birthdays.
Yes, 2 retro birthdays. I got to find the music. And one of which was more monumental than the other, which is why I think when we posted on our social media pages, we kind of leaned one way as opposed to the other, but there's no love lost. What birthdays are we talking about?
All right. And you know what? We only leaned one way because I felt like it was a
more monumental.
A monumental anniversary.
Exactly.
It was the 25th anniversary. Last year, we covered the 20th anniversary of the other console. So, celebrating its 21st retro birthday on September 9th, the system that was released on 9/9/99. Who can forget that?
Yep.
If you were.
I remember those. I remember those commercials. Good Lord.
I remember them too. 9/9/99. With the little spiral.
Yeah.
Of course, we're talking about the Sega Dreamcast.
Yes. Probably one of, in my opinion, the first real system that to me blew my mind as far as graphics, because it was basically an arcade at home.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's exactly how I felt about it as well. I was like, wow. I'm like, and a lot of the games that came out for it at the time were arcade games.
Oh, yeah.
There were a bunch of arcade games that were on there. And it just showed how it seamlessly transitioned to a home console. So, yeah, absolutely monumental. And we've said this on our podcast before, arguably the most underrated console of all time.
Yes.
It just the timing of it all, it did not have a very long shelf life, and it deserved so much more. And it was also the last console Sega released.
It was technically, I guess, till the Mini, but I guess we won't count that one. The last console with interchangeable games. But yeah, the Dreamcast, so underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. So, so the Sega Dreamcast turned 21 years old. And also on September 9th, we got a 25th anniversary for the console that put Sony on the map. And, of course, we're talking about the original Sony PlayStation.
Yes, PlayStation 20. I didn't even realize it was 25 years. I mean, time, sadly, is just flying by.
It really is, and as it flies by, we get older.
Yes, God, yes. So and the PlayStation. I remember, the PlayStation We talked about it before. I got it in college.
What fell? Intruder?
Maybe that's a stalker. We're there. Step 3.
Oh, we made it.
3. I like it. They can go right through the windows, my garbage.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what you don't realize is the stalker is there to tell you, I'm here to make you stop the podcast.
Probably. No.
I'm obsessed with your podcast. I'm obsessed with stopping you.
It was the garbage can lid just fell over. I left it up.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I don't know why. Gravity.
So Sony PlayStation turns 25, which is huge.
Like I was saying, I remember in college, I bought it used. It was like the first used system, the only used system really I ever bought right off the bat. Mm-hmm. Never bought it new. And the game that really prompted me to do that was WWE SmackDown. It was coming out on PlayStation.
Right, because up until that point, if you remember correctly, you were what we called a Nintendo snob.
No, I had Genesis. You did,
but you were.
But it was more Nintendo.
Yeah, you were very heavily Nintendo.
I was, yeah.
Even with the Genesis, I don't think you ventured out too far into the Genesis.
Probably not.
But I think Sony was the first system that really kind of started you to kind of look beyond Nintendo.
It did. And as the kids say on TikTok, I had adult money. So
is that what they say?
So at that point, I was able to purchase almost anything I wanted.
Is that what I have right now? Adult money?
Adult money. This is why. Look behind me. That's adult money.
Well, I spent adult money this morning, but it wasn't on anything cool. Like, look, I got a level.
There you go.
And I got one of these things. I don't even know what it is.
That is a protractor. No, it's not a protractor.
It's a Polycast rafter square.
There you go. What do you need with what rafters are you going up to?
To be determined.
I can't even imagine what the hell you're going to do.
You'll find out. Stay tuned.
I guess so. Good Lord. All righty.
But anyway.
So we got these wonderful systems, and we figure we'll do, as we like to do from time and again, not necessarily, well, it's a top 10 in total.
Yes.
But it's our personal top 5 PlayStation and top 5 Dreamcast games.
Yes. And I think, that's the way to really kind of hammer it home. We're not talking about the best of all time here. We're talking about the games that we remember most fondly on the PlayStation 1 and the Dreamcast. And I don't know about you, but when you created your list, what I did was I literally sat here and just whatever games popped up into my head are the ones that I wrote down. I didn't want to look stuff up to be like, oh yeah, that was a great game. That was like, no. Which are the 5 that as soon as you say PlayStation 1, I think of those games. Exactly. And that's what it should be. Yeah. We may have some dogs on this list, but totally. To us, we enjoyed them. Yes, so, absolutely. And actually, it's funny, now that I look at the list, another name popped up, and I'm like, oh, why isn't that in my top 5? You can change it now. You haven't said anything yet. That's very true, and I might just. And I don't know about you. Mine aren't necessarily in any particular order too much, but I'll try. I tried to put mine in order. Yeah, I'll try and do something with it. So let's start with Dreamcast, I figure, because that one's just a ho-hum birthday. Well, it's the younger. It is. It's allowed to drink now. Yes, it can finally drink. Congrats, Dreamcast. When I later today, I'll pull out my Dreamcast and pour one out on it. There you go. And then you have to buy a new one. Yes. All right. So do you want to just go through the 5 each, or just kind of alternate? You hit your 5, and I'll hit mine. Right. So I'll try and put this in some sort of order. All right. Talk about them a little bit. That's if you want to, exactly. Obviously. So for Dreamcast, one of the first ones that pops into my head was actually GTA 2. Oh, interesting. So, I had GTA 1 and GTA London 1969 on PlayStation, but when GTA 2 came out on Dreamcast, that was probably also one of the first times I bought a game purely because graphically it was going to look better on a different system. Right. Usually, even to today, graphics don't really do it for me. Like, I don't buy a game because it's graphically amazing. As long as the gameplay is good, I don't care what it looks like. And going into GTA 2 with the hype of GTA, the everything about it, just seeing how smooth it ran on Dreamcast. That's really why I went with that one. I played that one for a while, as I did the first GTA, really just getting in the cars and running people over. So really didn't complete any missions. And that's what's fun about it.
Another one that I remember playing often, I think, and I think, no, I was in college actually at this point, so I don't know if we got to play together. Soul Calibur.
Oh yeah, Soul Calibur was fantastic. I had it for the Dreamcast as well.
Yeah.
In fact, I still have it.
Just again, it was basically having the arcade game in your home, and it's a great fighter.
Yes,
it's an absolutely great fighter.
One of the best.
Another great arcade game which I discovered on Dreamcast, Crazy Taxi.
Yep.
Played that one a lot. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember what the pack-in game was. Maybe it wasn't Crazy. It may have been another one here that I'm about to list, or even if it had one. But
I don't know.
Excuse me one second.
Have one.
If you hear that ringing, I apologize. But Crazy Taxi, it's just pure arcade. Got a lot of play in college with it. In my dorm room, had a lot of good times. Just my buddies coming over and just driving around on Crazy Taxi. This one I think is a hidden gem that I don't think a lot of people know or even realize is a good game. And of course, when you hear the title, you're gonna think, "Oh, he's biased." Ms. Pac-Man Maze Madness.
Oh, I remember that one. I don't remember playing it though.
It was on Yeah, it was on PlayStation and Dreamcast.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I may have rebought it on PlayStation after my Dreamcast got fadoozled there in the hurricane. But Ms. Pac-Man, Maze Man. It was, if you remember Pac-Man World, it's kind of like basically Maze Madness is. It's still a maze type game, but it's got like 3D worlds in it. It's not necessarily open like Super Mario 64, but just had different worlds, different graphics, and it was just so much fun to play. And of course, hidden in the game would be the original arcade game, which did not have the sped up mode. But Maze Madness is it's a sleeper hit, I'm telling you. Go out, whether PlayStation or Dreamcast. I don't know if it came out on anything else. Definitely, if you can find it, pick it up. I think it's a worthwhile.
Okay, fair.
And then, of course, I think the one that's on everybody's list, maybe, Sonic Adventure.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, probably the best Sonic game of all time. A top 5 contender of best game of all time, probably, in my opinion. And like Super Mario 64, how they brought Mario into the 3D world, Sonic Adventure brought Sonic into the 3D world. And personally, I don't think he's been able to do justice in the 3D world since Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like Sega came out with Sonic Adventure and literally started, it was the pinnacle. Like, they've never been able to get any higher with Sonic. Which is unfortunate, because if they were able to replicate what made Sonic Adventure, and I'll argue Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
Because I liked that one as well. But they were really solid games. And then after that, like, all the other 3D Sonic games just kind of went the hum route, essentially. Which was unfortunate, because they were, those two, though. I mean, especially the first one, absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just remember in the beginning when you're just the opening of when you're running and the water's on the sides and you're running through it and the whale jumps up and goes over it. Just absolutely like talk about, setting an example for how powerful and how great your system can be. Yeah. They hit a home run with Sonic Adventure.
No, I mean, you nailed it on the head. And then when they re-released them on GameCube, it was basically the same, but just something about playing it on the Dreamcast makes it so much better.
Nope. I agree.
Absolutely. Those were your 5?
Yes.
Okay. So my...
so give me 1 second.
Oh, there we go. All right. I thought that was me.
No. It's me. The wire on my microphone, for some odd reason...
keeps pulling out?
Yeah.
Just too short. Yeah.
More or less.
All right. That's what she said.
Anyway.
Oh!
Jinx.
Damn it. Means I can't talk.
My top 5, actually what's interesting is that you only named one of the 5 that I have on here.
I can see. Okay. I thought maybe I would have got 2 of them. All right.
I'm actually surprised you didn't say Simpsons Hit and Run. I thought that would have been on there. Was that on Dreamcast?
That was not on Dreamcast.
That's why it wasn't on there. I thought it was on there because it was like basically Crazy Taxi in a Simpsons world.
Wasn't on? No, that came out a little later.
So, that's probably Xbox PS2.
Exactly.
So anyway, the 5 Dreamcast games that I came up with, Sonic Adventure was, of course, on the top of my list, no question. First one I thought of. And then a couple of little random independent ones.
Oh, okay.
Well, one maybe. The other one people know. But Ill Bleed was one of the ones, and I talk about this one. I talk about this one all the time.
Yep.
It was on the Sega Dreamcast, and it was basically it was a horror game. It was a survival horror game where you did not have any weapons, and basically the object was to survive every horror movie level without getting scared to death. Just a really original way of getting through a game. And I remember I finished it really quickly, and
we did.
And I finished it really quickly, and I'm like, oh, was that it? But for some odd reason, I just loved going back and playing through it over and over again.
Okay.
Which was really cool. Next one was, and again, I know you're not the music-based game guy.
Yeah, not so much. Not so much.
I am. But Space Channel 5 on the Dreamcast to me was just so much fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's coming back out. You pre-ordered it, right? The re-release?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it through the mini run, so I'm going to get that on my PS4. So, Space Channel 5. So, again, it takes place in space, and you are a reporter who is fighting aliens with dance moves. And
as we might be doing the way this year is going, that might be.
I mean, we've pretty much taken on everything else. Why the hell not? Bring it on, aliens. Let's go. I think we're ready, though.
We are.
We're ready. We're ready for everything. Next game, and again, the last two games I'm going to mention are interchangeable. They were also on the PlayStation 1, but I had them on the Dreamcast, so that's where my mind goes with those games.
Okay.
One is Resident Evil Code Veronica,
yes,
which I thought was amazing.
Yes.
Because I played Code Veronica and Nemesis on the Dreamcast. So Code Veronica, to me, just blew everything out of the water. Absolutely loved it. And then the last game, which I just recently started playing on the PS4 now because they just re-released it. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Yes.
I played that game on the Dreamcast non-stop when that came out. Loved that game. And Goldfinger Superman is still on my iPod for anybody who still uses an iPod. I still do on occasion. But yeah, so Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and that rounds out my top 5.
All right. Yeah, I know with Pro Skater, I had that on N64. I would have had it on my list.
Yep.
But no, great Ill Bleed. I remember, I don't think I've ever seen you play it, but I remember you always talking about it. And you mentioned it here as well.
If I ever get my Dreamcast out,
there you go.
If I ever get my Dreamcast out, I'll actually stream it. Because I'm getting ready to do streaming again once I have because I'm pretty set up at home right now.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Before we move on to the PlayStation, though, I just want to because we're still talking about Dreamcast and we're talking about Sega. Literally, I found out about this before we started recording. The movie that was going to be coming out, Console Wars, which is going to be done by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldblum. Goldblum? Am I getting his name right?
Yes.
Okay. Was supposed to be a movie, but now it's actually going to be a documentary series. I guess kind of like High Score. It's going to debut September 23rd, so just in a few weeks, on CBS All Access, which is interesting.
I got to pay for another service?
Well, if you haven't got it yet, maybe you can get the free trial and get through it. Well, but I don't know if they're bingeable.
I'm trying to hold out until December because Stephen King's The Stand is coming out on All Access.
Oh, is it? All right. Remember, purchase now, then cancel, then purchase again, then cancel. That's what you do with Netflix.
What I've been doing with my other services.
And the trailer, again, didn't realize the trailer actually just dropped. So as we go wrap up the Sega portion of this, I figured maybe right now we'll show you the trailer for Console Wars.
It's the hot new buzz, video games.
Nintendo game! Nintendo!
With 95% or more of the market, we were the video game industry. But then it changed.
It was hard to build a major video game system.
None of us really knew if Sega was going to be a success.
The challenges we had were the very strong presence of Nintendo.
We needed something to compete with Mario.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
A hedge what?
Yeah, I've been staying up late playing video games.
We established a rule that Nintendo was not going to get pushed around.
We're at war, guys.
We got to win this.
The It became a kind of spy versus spy.
They had these large inflatable balloons like Sonic.
He had them deflated.
A lot of yelling and screaming at various events.
They were furious with us.
I did not expect the U.S. Congress to get involved.
We sent a message to Sega that we were going to continue to fight.
There was a lot at stake.
It was unbelievable.
You got to be ready to fight.
All right, so there you got it. Console Wars, September 23rd on CBS All Access.
Which is awesome. And I'm looking forward to that because, again, in High Score, they used one episode to kind of focus on the console wars between Sega and Nintendo. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing a full focus on it because I read the book by,
yes.
if I'm not mistaken, by Blake Harris, I want to say it was.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, where? Oh, there it is. Yes, Blake Harris.
There you go.
So by Blake J. Harris. So, yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the documentary. I know you didn't read the book.
I've been waiting for this.
You've been waiting to watch it. So,
yes. You think I'm plugged again?
Yeah.
We'll have this fixed for $200, I swear.
I'm sure we have a budget somewhere.
If we do, I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. It's a lot of the same, couple of the same people from High Score, obviously. Yep. But like you said, when we reviewed High Score, you said, "Oh, I would love to see a deeper dive into this." Here's your deeper dive.
Yeah, it's like CBS was listening to me and filmed it within those 2 weeks.
Basically. And I don't know how many episodes they are, and I don't know how CBS All Access works, if they drop them all at once or if they just do it once a week.
If they do it once a week, I'm going to wait for them all to drop, and then I'm going to sign on for the free trial and watch them.
Fair enough. Because I know Amazon Prime is starting to do that. Like, they drop their shows weekly now.
Well, that's how they keep you subscribed.
Which makes sense. Hey, listen.
Yeah, I disagree.
You know what? Binge watching, that's for another time.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Right. So let's
now. This coming from a guy who binge watched Cobra Kai, 2 seasons of Cobra Kai this weekend. So.
Oh, you did? You got through them?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I only saw the first 2 episodes so far. I gotta get through the rest.
God, it's fantastic.
I know. I can't wait.
It's fantastic. It made me want to go back and see the movie, and then it made me want to go back and play the really awful video game for the NES.
That was the chopsticks and getting the fly,
yes.
and it was.
And I beat that game.
Did you?
I beat that game several times.
Oh wow! Yes. I never owned it.
Yes.
So
I beat you. What I found funny about that game, if we can get sidetracked for a second, what I found funny about that game is the first Karate Kid movie is iconic, right? And then you had the second one, which is lesser, and then the third and the fourth one, which are pretty much garbage. But in the video game, the first level is basically the tournament from the first movie.
Okay.
That you go through. And then the rest of the game is the second movie. And I'm like, you could have done so much. I mean, you could have taken the all of the interactions he had with the Cobra Kai, like the bike chase scene and the dance and all this stuff. Like, you could have made so many things out of it. Instead, you get a karate tournament and then you're in Okinawa. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, well. It's like Jaws, the video game. When I went, I had a copy of Jaws on NES, and I got the Kittner boy to sign it. You know, the guy who played the first kid eaten by Jaws.
Yep.
In the movie. And he goes, "Oh, look, they made a video game about me." I didn't have the heart to tell him that the game's based on Jaws 4.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, it's about you. Here you go, sign it."
Yeah, exactly. Hey, kid, yeah, you died in the first one. I hate to break it to you. This was the one with Michael Caine and Mario Van Peebles.
And what was it? The mother? They somehow figured out it was the mother of the original shark or something.
No. Ellen Brody was no. It wasn't that it was the mother. She just kept saying, she's like, the sharks have it in for the family. You know what I mean? Like, the sharks were falling for it. They're not saying it was the mother of the shark that killed. She's just saying that sharks chase the Brody family as if they know where the Brody family are in the world. And that's where we got the whole cliche of "this time it's personal," because that was the tagline for Jaws 4.
Oh, I thought they meant the shark was related to the first shark. I'm like, how the hell did they figure that one out?
No.
Okay.
It's just in her mind, all great white sharks in the world have it in for the Brody family.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Shark still looks fake. Yes. All right, so let's move on now to our PlayStation, our top 5 personal PlayStation games. It's been 25 years since this beautiful system was released in North America. And by God, there were gems on this system. So
yeah,
I'm
and there's
sure.
no way to, and to be honest, there's no way to really narrow it down to 5. So I went with literally the first 5 that popped in my head.
You didn't even own them. These are just the first 5 that you got.
No. I definitely owned all 5 of these.
Actually, you go. Let me hear what yours are. Let's see what you got.
Okay, yeah, you went first last time. Okay, I'm gonna be a jerk and put an honorable mention in for.
No.
Sorry.
All right.
I got to give love to WWF SmackDown, specifically SmackDown 2.
Oh, know your role. Okay.
Yeah, know your role, because that one had the expanded roster, more matches, and like we played that game.
We did
nonstop. So, just an honorable mention there.
Okay.
But the 5 that really popped in my head. First one, again, I was big into dance games, music games, and stuff like that, and I had to choose between 2 because they both popped in my head. I got to give the edge to Bust a Groove because, and again, not a monumental kind of game. It's literally, it's a dance off, and you got to press the button combinations within the, to the beat of the music and stuff like that. But because of playing it with my sister and her friends and my friends, everything like that, it's a nostalgia thing in my head. Like, I have great memories connected to that game because we all had fun playing it.
I know your sister's friends played it. I don't remember us playing it so much.
You did.
Did I?
Yeah, you just sucked at it.
Maybe I just pushed it out of my memory.
Yeah, it's a game you would push out of your memory.
See, did you own? That was like the first one you got imported, wasn't it?
The sequel, Buster Groove.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because I couldn't find at the time they hadn't released it in the U.S., so I got the Japanese version, and then they released it in the U.S. in very limited quantity, and I never found it.
Gotcha.
So,
all right.
and I still have the Japanese version of it.
Cool.
Which is cool. Next one is the only one I've completed in this franchise because I couldn't beat the damn second one and never played the third one that I own. Tomb Raider, the original Tomb Raider, which I absolutely love.
It helped define the system.
It helped define what 3D gameplay was like. And it also introduced us to the lovely, lovely Lara Croft.
Absolutely.
Plus, locking the butler in the freezer was always fun to do. I did it all the time. So Tomb Raider, okay. Of course, going back to the Resident Evil thing, gotta say Resident Evil 2, if I had to pick one. Took everything that was great about the first one, expanded on it, 2 characters to play, 2 discs, so much fun. Absolutely love that one. And then we got to go with, of course, to me, the definitive Castlevania game, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Absolutely.
Redefined the whole aspect of a side-scrolling adventure. The whole, again, it's Castlevania, but the whole Metroidvania with the open side-scrolling world and traveling. And then the surprise of you completed the game. Nope. Let's flip it upside down and do it all over again.
Yep. Quite literally.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. And then, of course, the last one, I'd be remiss if I did not put this on my list, and always at the top of my list, Final Fantasy VII.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first game I think I ever very easily put like 60 or 70 hours into. And I just loved every second of it. Pure fun, love, redefined what RPGs meant to me because I wasn't a big RPG fan, really. I was pretty much a Shining Force guy and Zelda, but Zelda is not really RPG. So, but Final Fantasy VII definitely made me change my mind on that. So those are the 5 that popped up in my head.
All right, good list. Good list. Yep. So here is what I have. Again, no particular order. I'll try and do it in some sort of order. So the first one is a puzzler, a puzzle game that I just saw. And I'm like, oh, this may seem interesting. This is like kind of back when the internet was just starting to broaden where you relied on the internet for like game reviews and see what something looked like. Yep. So we weren't there just yet. So I kind of bought this one on a whim, just looking at it. Mr. Driller.
Oh, yeah.
And just released recently for current consoles, a new one. It's a tough puzzler, but just a game that I really fell in love with that just came out of nowhere.
That's awesome.
Another game that is just synonymous. Can you please be quiet, sir?
You jumped on that. if you want to be on the show, just say so.
Look at him. He doesn't. He wants to unplug it.
Yes, he basically does. He's here to sabotage our show.
He is. He's coming from another podcast. Yes. This game kind of took a genre and really brought it into like this, not necessarily 3D world, but it was like 3D, like with a 2D aspect. R-Type Delta.
Yes.
Fantastic game. And actually R-Type Final 2 hopefully will be coming out soon, which is a Kickstarter I did.
Well, and you were the side-scrolling shooter.
I love him.
Of the group.
I love him. In fact, we'll talk about that in a little while. Mm-hmm. A game that I will admit, even though I personally think the Call of Duty series is starting to wane a little bit, personally speaking, I know everyone's playing Warzone, but to me, the definitive first-person World War II game is Medal of Honor.
And that's the one I always hear when people talk about.
Loved it. Loved it. Especially the first two, Medal of Honor and Medal of Honor Underground. But that first Medal of Honor, I played through. I am pretty sure I beat it. I don't remember, but I feel like I did. So I won't try it for the contest if I ever start it again. And
I'm about ready to start the contest again.
And it was just so much fun to play, you know, and back then, just hearing the, you know, with the voice actors, papers, where are your papers? I don't know why I remember that so much, because it was like a stealth mission.
Jones.
Well, that too, but it had it in Medal of Honor as well.
Yes,
and then I'll mention Castlevania. I mean, that's on my list as well. Symphony of the Night. You explained all of it, Ant. I mean, there's really nothing else to say about it. Game's fantastic. And then this game, which admittedly I originally had a bootleg copy of because I was a poor college student.
Thief.
And I really didn't realize what I was doing till later. Then eventually I bought a regular copy. Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man was awesome.
Yes, on PlayStation.
Yes.
The return of Stan Lee, I feel like, to the Spider-Man world. I remember that was a big thing, I think.
Yeah, because he was the training.
Yes, he was. But I think he was like he was on the outs with Marvel, I think, during that time or something.
Yeah, there was a lot of friction between him and Marvel at the time.
But it was just a fantastic game to play.
Oh no, no argument here.
And that one I never beat. Maybe I'll try and go back and do that one. So
I think I beat the first one. I never finished the second one. Enter
Electro. Yeah, no, I never. I think I have it, but I didn't play it as much as I did the first one. So those are my five. And then I'll mention SmackDown, the first one, because like I said, that's the game that I remember sitting there in my college dorm, hearing about this game come out. I'm like, now I have to get a PlayStation.
Yep.
Then I went out and got one. So.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yes.
Here we go. Of course, let us know your top Dreamcast games, your top PlayStation games. Hit us up in the comments section. If you're on YouTube, hit us up. You can DM us. For crying out loud. Message us. We love you. We want to hear from you. So maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
We hear from actually there's a couple people I talk to. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. The rest is news, and I don't know if you have any news or anything like that, or
I do not. Off the top of my head, I don't have any news, with the exception of the Mario 3D All-Stars set. Apparently, is selling out everywhere, and now it's forcing me to pre-order it because I was going to hold off, and now I think I have to. I have to pre-order it, otherwise I won't have a physical copy.
When you heard limited release, limited quantity, you should have immediately jumped on board.
All right, fine.
Shame on you. They don't charge you until it ships.
Twist my arm.
I don't think I had
to.
I feel like...
if I'm not mistaken, it's actually sold out on Amazon.
Oh boy, Amazon, yes. You could try Best Buy, maybe Target.
Yeah, I'm actually on the.
God help you, you may have to purchase it digitally.
No. No. We don't do that here. Actually, it is available on GameStop.
Then you better place that order and mute your mic while you hit those keys so we don't know what your credit card number is.
My credit card number is 12345.
It's amazing. It's just like my luggage. Completely unrelated. I just got to say this because I know he's listening as well. Last night, Mario, good friend of the show, has been co-host a couple times, lives downstairs. So he came up yesterday with his two daughters, lovely daughters. We had pizza. We just kind of chilled out last night. We watched Robin Hood Men in Tights. and it's hysterical. His girls are, I'm going to get their ages wrong, but they're under the age of 15. And it's wild to watch a younger crowd watch that movie and don't get every reference.
Nope.
Because the movie's from, the 93.
Well, I mean, how would they get pretty much any of the references?
A lot, but I mean, a lot of the visual was funny for them, but it blew my mind. I was like, oh, okay. So
that's funny.
So while Anthony pre-orders,
I'm actually pre-ordering it as we speak.
Good, you should. Teaches you a lesson.
But jump into other news.
I will. So speaking of which, just a couple quick actually pre-order notifications for one.
What do we got?
So through Retrobit, which is a great company, Retrobit, 4 retro shoot 'em ups are being released, physical copies for the Genesis.
Nice.
And these 4 now, the 4 is kind of like a basically it's a collection. It's called the Toplin collection.
Okay.
You did okay? Nope, you're still there.
I'm still here. No, I think it had to pause for a second so that the order
gotcha.
can go through. I have officially pre-ordered it.
Good for you.
I just won't get it on the 18th.
You can wait. It's all right. You've played those games before.
That's fine. I haven't turned on my Switch in months.
4 shoot 'em ups again. The Toplin Shooters Collection. These are 4 physical Genesis cartridges.
Ooh.
The games are Truxton. Okay. Hellfire. I mean, they're all shoot 'em ups. They're all basically the same for the most part. Don't get me wrong. I know someone's screaming right now. They're not the same. I get it.
Yeah.
Fire Shark. And a game that
any of these.
and a game that's being for the first time released officially in North America, but a game that we are all very familiar with one scene, and it was probably one of the first memes ever to be created.
Oh.
The game is Zero Wing, and it is responsible for the line, all your base are belong to us. Excuse me.
Yep.
So, and there I am screwing it up.
Iconic video game line.
Yep. But now this is the game. It's pretty cool. Like one's purple cartridge, the other one's a gold cartridge, one's
How
a
many
blue
have you
cartridge.
pre-ordered?
None yet, because the pre-order will run from September 15th through October 6th.
Okay.
You can order them through Castlemania or some garbage other company.
Limited run.
And
Thank you. Fantastic.
And then you can either purchase all 4 together or you can buy them individually.
Cool.
You buy all 4 together, it looks like an old VHS set. The way they all just slide in into like a slipcover case. That's pretty cool. I didn't even see that until now. So 4 great games. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'll pre-order it. The price is for the 4 together, it's $160.
Wow.
And then individually, I think they're $45 each.
Well, before you click that button, just remember you have a car payment.
I am aware.
Okay.
I'm fully aware.
Just warning.
Of
course, I sat here and pre-ordered something like on a whim, and I just bought a house.
There we go. See, there's always money somewhere.
No. That is not true.
So my Polymega better be delivered in November so I can start playing some of these games.
Yeah, agreed. Although I may be pulling out some old systems.
Ooh, nice. So so check that out. The Toplin Shooters Collector's Edition. I think it's going to be really cool. Even the artwork looks awesome on them. So another game that's being re-released. I didn't realize it's actually kind of a retro birthday. 10th anniversary of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game.
First off, I can't believe that game is 10 years old.
Honestly, right?
Movie is older than that.
Holy cow. Movie's fantastic, too.
Great movie. Absolutely.
The game is great. I feel like I owned it. I don't remember where, though. What system?
I've never played the game. I can say that for sure.
It's just a classic, kind of like how the game, the movie and the manga is an homage to video games. The game is like an homage to side-scroller beat-em-ups.
Right.
So it's going to be the 10th anniversary, the complete edition. So all the DLCs will be available and stuff like that. I'm not sure when it's officially being released. I don't think I saw a date for it, but be on the lookout. It is definitely coming out for the Switch and other systems. this holiday season. So, and it'll be $15. So not too bad.
Not bad.
And then this is more not new news, but this is personal experience and probably a new segment we can call Larry, Stop Wasting Your Money. You do have a car to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked a few weeks ago about a game, Space Invaders, a game that was being released on Switch from a company called Strictly Limited Gaming, which is a much better company. We talked about it. The game runs like $70 US.
Okay.
Because it's the company's located in Europe. So obviously for them it's better priced.
Right.
But so I'm like, all right, it's pricey. I think I'll hold off. Fingers crossed it'll be a digital download later on. Kind of like the Darius collection. I held off on that and eventually became download. So I was fishing through Amazon Japan, just looking through. Every now and again I get emails from them. So I'm like, all right, let me just see what they're offering. And I saw the Japanese version of Space Invaders. Now, the English version I was talking about is slightly different. It's got a couple more games on it. It's in English. But I figure the Switch is region free. Mm-hmm. And on Amazon Japan, with shipping, the game was $50.
Okay, not bad.
All right, not bad at all. And from Japan, I get it in 2 days. Ridiculous.
Okay.
So I pull the trigger and I order it.
Nice.
So here it is. Space Invaders Invincible Collection, all in Japanese glory. All right? All good stuff.
Have you played it yet?
I have played it. Okay. Put it in, trying to navigate through the menu system. Had to hold my phone up with Google Translate, figure out what's going on.
Nice.
There is no language option. You cannot change it to English.
So you just have to memorize how to get through it.
Yeah. On top of that, there's not as many games on this version as the strictly limited version. So that annoys me. And also, they have a download. There's a code here, which I guess I can technically show you because I already downloaded it. Code.
Okay.
For a game called Arkanoid versus Space Invaders.
Ooh.
Which I downloaded immediately. I think I downloaded before I put the game in.
Nice.
But Arkanoid vs. Space Invaders, I think, is designed to play on the Switch vertically.
Oh.
Because it does. Don't get me wrong. And if I could put my 4K television on its side, it would look amazing. But I can't. But with that being said, the lack of a couple of games, the whole thing's in Japanese. I really regretted it. So I went online and I pre-ordered the English version of Space Invaders Incredible Edition. Invincible Edition.
Invincible. So basically, you bought a Japanese game you don't need.
I did. I would probably sell it back, but I already used the download code. So there goes that. That will kill the price. No, I will, but it would have been a lot more money if I didn't use the code. And the game is advertised on the back. So, yeah. I don't know why, because a week prior, I had the English version in that shopping cart, just kind of mulling over it. I'm like, you know what? Let me just pull the trigger on this. But I didn't. And then I got this. And it's not as much as I regret it, because it's a good game. It's Space Invaders. Nothing to it. I just wish I could read it. And this is probably one of the biggest mistakes I've made. I will admit.
Yeah, and you've made many.
I have made many.
I think your credit card companies, your credit card company should assign somebody to you. So when you make a purchase, you know how you get the fraud charges?
Yes. And Apple's usually good with that.
Right. No. But what you should get bless you. Bless you. You should get a call from an actual human being at your credit card company, and that tries to dissuade you from making that purchase.
Now, don't get me wrong. I know I'm talking like I'm $20,000 in debt. I'm not. I'm really not. Like, I can take care of this in a couple of months if I'm, I pay, and I can do it with no penalties. Mm-hmm. But I really should not have gotten this version. I will admit that.
Yep.
I should have just pulled the trigger on the other one.
Yep.
I have the Apple card. That's the only card I really use. Apple and Amazon. And a gas card for gas, but that I keep that separate.
Right.
But the reason why, this is a little inside of my personal life. The reason why I only use the one card is because it's one card. I can manage it better.
Yes.
When I was in terrible, crippling, life-altering debt, it was because I had like 5 or 6 cards.
Everything.
All maxed.
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible.
Yep.
But now that I have it under control, I can pull up besides the Apple Card is awesome. I don't have it on me. I would have showed you. Because I can show it. I can hold it right up because there's no number on.
I will take your word for it.
No, I'm just saying, like, there's no credit card number on. There's no expiration date. The only thing that's on there is my name.
Gotcha.
And it's made of titanium. Every time I hand it off to someone, they're like shocked. But sometimes Apple will say, well, I'll get like a thing, like did not go through, want to make sure this is a legit charge.
Right.
But usually on this, like I've done it at like McDonald's and it's done that, which you probably should. But then I can easily go into it and be like, no, this is correct. And then it goes through anyway. But in any event, so I got Space Invaders.
Okay.
And because I couldn't just leave that alone.
Oh my.
From the same website on the same order, I also pre-ordered Strictly Limited Games is putting out a Turrican series. The original Turrican series, which is a great, again, side-scroller shoot 'em up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games, 2 volumes.
Yep.
So I'm like, what the heck? Let me order that on Switch as well.
Which edition did you get?
What do you mean? Oh no, I didn't. I don't go for the super duper Uber special editions.
You just bought 1 and 2. Okay.
Yeah, I just bought the ones that are 100 euros.
Gotcha.
So, and again, I got it on Switch, not PS4. But
wait, were they 100 euros each?
No, together.
Okay.
Each did 35 euros.
Wait,
does that price come out right? Hold on.
No.
Oh, no, this is a collector's edition. Oh, wait a minute. What is this?
Yeah, you bought the collector's edition.
I did buy a collector's edition. No, there was another Uber, like a bigger collector's.
Yes, I saw that.
Oh, man.
I was going to say you did. Yeah, I was going to say because you could have got it for 70 euro for the 2. Again, somebody at your credit card company should have called you and said, Larry, are you sure you want to spend this money? We're worried about you. We love people who charge stuff. And we're worried about you personally.
But yeah, that I can't do math because it goes volume 1, 35 euros, volume 2, 35, together 100.
How did you get through high school? How did you get through grammar school?
Dude, if I even told you, the only reason why I passed AP Calculus, A, I don't know how I got into AP Calculus, but B, I only passed it because we got like an automatic 90 on the final if we took the test, what they call those, like to get into college, the regents or something.
Oh, the regents exams.
Yeah. That was it. Like my parents paid $100 for me to take that test to get a 90 on my final.
You fought your way into passing calculus. Good to know.
Barely. And it was funny too. A friend of mine held up his test sheet halfway through. It was blank. No.
Your mom Aunt Becky'd you through.
Oh yeah, just about. When he held up that thing and it was completely blank halfway through a 3-hour test, and he's like, "I give up. I'm not even trying."
I assume you got a 90 exactly.
I don't remember what I got on the AP test, to be honest with you.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like since you bought your way to a 90.
Oh
you got a 90 and nothing.
Maybe.
Not
I sucked at math.
Higher.
I sucked at math.
I loved math.
I hate math.
Let me rephrase
Nerd.
That. I didn't love math. I was great at math. It annoyed me, but I was really good at it.
And of course,
I have no idea how I aced physics in college because science was my weakest, and I think the only reason why I aced physics is because it's math related.
Probably. And then back then teachers going, "Well, you're never going to walk around with a calculator in your pocket all the time."
Oh no!
So
lying bastards.
Oh well. All right.
Who's
so
laughing now, huh? Well, actually, I'm laughing at you because you can't figure out that 35 plus 35 is 70.
I swear to God, I saw the two of them together. I'm like, okay, that's easy. God damn it. Can I cancel this?
I think if I win the contest this year, instead of you buying me something, I want to manage all of your purchases. Like you have to go through me to okay a purchase for next year.
I really hope my mother's not listening.
Damn, she's going to ask you for that $100 back for
honestly,
AP calculus.
Shut up. I really thought I was saving money by buying this together. All righty. God, I can't. That's really.
Do you realize that 199 plus 1 is 200? Because that's our episode next week.
Maybe in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Yes.
All right. I'm very upset. That's basically it on the news that I had on some of the interesting games that are coming out.
My goodness. Okay. I only have one little thing. Well, not newsworthy in terms of quote unquote purchases. I did not. I bought the last thing I purchased was Tony Hawk 1 and 2, which we went over on last week's show. And I haven't purchased anything video game related until I did it on the show just now. But a couple of friends of mine in California, Glenda and Tarami, were super sweet enough to send me a housewarming gift.
Oh.
Which is awesome. They actually just recently bought a house too, which is cool, in California.
Okay.
But they sent me a housewarming gift. And let me tell you something. They know me. There's no question about that, because my housewarming gift is a lovely set of wooden coasters.
Okay.
Which is really cool.
Everyone needs coasters. How do you get them out? Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
That is awesome.
Yep. It's burned in.
It's basically they're wooden coasters, and are they all the same image? With burnt in, the top one was a burnt in Atari controller.
Yep.
Oh, okay. They're all controllers. There's the NES controller.
NES controller.
Super NES.
Super NES.
N64. I like that one. Wow, all Nintendo. There you go. PlayStation.
And Xbox.
Xbox. Very nice.
Very
they look
nice.
really
so
cool.
6 coasters. So thank you very much, Glenda and Tarami. I know you don't listen to my show, so you won't hear me thank you. But I also I already thanked them,
of course.
So, but yes, so this absolutely fantastic.
That is very cool.
It'll look great in the video game room. So,
it'll be great doing what it's not designed to do.
Yeah, basically. Well, actually, what's funny is that I got these, and I'm like, ooh, they're coasters. I can put my drink on them. I go, but with the condensation for drinks here, I'm like, I don't want to ruin the wood. So
but that's what they're for.
I know. Well, what's funny is that even with my coasters, like these are my regular coasters in the house.
Okay.
And I buy a lot of Starbucks. Everybody should know that by now. But whenever I have a drink, because the friggin' damn plastic sweat, I always put napkins under it anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Such an LA thing. I feel like that's an LA thing.
It's not an LA. No, Starbucks is probably an LA thing. But putting the napkins underneath is my thing, because what happens is then the coaster gets wet and you need to go get a napkin to wipe the coaster anyway. So
you just let the coaster dry.
No. Then there's water just sitting on it.
Until it goes away. You're in Florida. It'll disappear in 20 minutes.
Well, actually, you know what's funny? That's actually true, because I just put 2 paint samples up on my wall to see what they look like. And I'm like, all right, I'll have to wait a few hours to see what, I'll wait a couple of hours when they dry. I'll go check them out. They were dry in 10 minutes. I'm like, I walked back and I went like this, and I'm like, Florida.
Fair enough.
Yes.
All righty. So we're going to bring this one, I think, to a head. And again, let us
bring it to a close.
Close, head, whatever. And
however, I would like to say this.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Before we close. No. We know that the 200th episode is coming out in a couple of weeks, right? And we're trying to figure out things that we wanted to do for the 200th. For our 100th episode, we debuted on YouTube, and we're
going 3D for 200.
Yes, we're going 3D. We're going. We're going.
Hello, everybody.
No, we're going hologram. Yeah, hologram.
Ooh, yes.
They're going to be holograms of us in your house talking about video games.
And then sitting there judging you silently.
So we were trying to figure out stuff to do for the 200th episode, and I'm hoping we can pull out some surprises for it and everything. We got a couple of weeks. But one of the things that we would like to do is we would love to hear from you guys, you guys who watch us on YouTube, the people who listen to us, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're extremely grateful for you guys, because without you, we really wouldn't have a show.
Basically.
And we appreciate all of your support, and especially recently we've been hearing from people in different countries, and it's just really humbling to think about that and know that we have people from all around the world that are actually listening to us ramble about our love for video games. So we would love to take this opportunity to get you guys on the show. So for our 200th episode, and we're going to post this on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, we would love it if you can send us a short video clip, a short audio clip, just, about what you've enjoyed with the Retro Gamers podcast. And we would love to put that in our 200th episode. So if you're interested in doing that, you can email it to us at email@theretrogamers.com. So, and again, we're not recording, that episode isn't dropping until, well, today's 12, 13, 14, 15, would be the 29th of September. Am I right? Yes.
Sure.
So the 29th of September will be the date that the 200th episode drops. We would love to get you in the 200th episode if you want to send us a short audio or video clip.
And I was going to say, actually, it drops on the 29th. If you can try and get it to us by the 27th.
Yes.
We do have to edit and put you in.
Yes, we do have to edit. So Sunday the 27th will be the deadline if you want to send us something. And again, it's email@theretrogamers.com.
Yes. And you know what? I'm springing this on you, Ant, but it's nothing major. Anyone who submits as well a video of that, you know what? I have a game I've been holding on to for a while. It's a game called Battle Princess Madeline. Mm-hmm. It was a Kickstarter game that I have on the Switch, but I have a physical PS4 copy, which I never opened, unlike I did with Space Invaders.
You can throw that in, too.
I was just going to say, all right, here's what we're going to do. If you make a video, hopefully you do, like what Anthony said, we'll put you into a running to win your choice of either Battle Princess Madeline on the PS4 or my used copy of Space Invaders Invincible Collection, knowing that you cannot download the Arkanoid versus Space Invaders because I already did. Yep. And you know what? I'll even sign this one.
Oh, good God. Okay. So for those of you who don't want it signed, please make sure whoever wins, please make sure you point that out. I want Space Invaders, but not signed. Because I'll tell you right now, they'll give you less for the trade.
I was going to say, it already diminished in value because I already downloaded the game. It'll drop even less by me signing it.
Yeah, it'll drop more. So,
see, you couldn't go through a whole episode without saying something, huh?
What are you talking about?
Didn't we just talk about this in the beginning of the episode for 198 episodes?
Yes.
Okay.
But anyway, and then in terms of, and we just said it too, you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, Apple, whatever they call it now. I don't even know what they call it.
Apple Podcasts, Google, all of it.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're basically everywhere. You can watch us on YouTube if you enjoy watching your podcasts because we're on YouTube. You can email us at email@theretrogamers.com. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/retrogamerspodcast. Instagram @retrogamerspodcast, and Twitter @retrogamerspod.
Yes. And folks, we will catch you in 2 weeks. And enjoy.
Thank you.
The little
enjoy
vacation.
As well. I'm really looking forward.
It's going to be
the
fun.
Next episode, number
it's
200.
going to be fun. Yep. And we will catch you in 2 weeks right here on the Retro Gamers Podcast.